The biggest learning out of our startup journey is when you want to prove what you strongly believe in, we need to build a minimum viable product out of limited resources so that someone starts believing you about what you think. We all remain thankful to IIT Madras, the place where we studied and had lots of hands-on experience in workshops and how to develop products. It's been a great learning experience during these 3 years of the journey at Aeroke. I don't think I would have learned these many things if I got placed in my final year. I have attended a lecture. One of the speakers mentioned India is polluted, but no one is polluting. Biggest irony. So I thought, let's explore what exactly is happening when it comes to air pollution and find a solution to this big problem called air pollution.
Since 2013, I think that is when I met Aeroke, Dikshit, Pawan and Shravan. As alumni mentors, one of the things we always look for is that problem. And there was absolutely no doubt in their case that Aeroke was trying to address that problem, which is real in India and in many countries. It's a problem for which there needed to be a long-term solution as well as day-to-day solution to manage air quality and improve the lives of people.
The first thing that comes to mind when I hear about Aeroke is all the distance that they have come. Even though he basically had almost nothing ready at that time, was a passion, a commitment to doing, to taking on this space and doing whatever it takes to be successful.
That's the time I met Pawan and Shravan, who were working on their masters in environment engineering. And they both had a similar kind of mindset to solve the real problem. We all started deeply discussing about our ideas and found that there is a lot of synergy. We all decided to commit ourselves for next 3 years in building our idea without expecting anything and see the results. So what we did after doing some basic research on filter technology, we started buying commercial air purifier and filters which are existing in the market. Started doing some basic experiments in order to know what's the capacity of this filter, and we realized that they are good in terms of PM 2.5. There are a lot of questions about other parameters.
And I remember thinking, what you're talking about for designing an air purifier? Where is? I mean, this is a market where big heavyweights play. This is a market that is designed for the big boys. Why would a small little IIT startup even think about doing something in this space? So in that sense, there was a lot of the disbelief that there was anything possible.
When we are trying to build our first prototype, which Shravan has designed on the paper, which is a cylindrical body which has perforations from all the 360-degree direction. We're actually wondering how to actually achieve this perforations on the cylindrical body. So because the perforations on a flat surface, which can be easily done on a CNC machine, but perforations on a cylindrical body is a really difficult job.
The first idea of the body which came to our mind was very funny, but it worked in another way. It's dustbin which is already perforated dustbin. We took and we made some modifications to it, and we kept the filter which we made in the lab. It was fun, at the same time a lot of happiness because it is giving the results.
So then we immediately purchased a dustbin and actually took it to a fabrication facility and then some tweaking on it to bring out an air purifier out of it. And mainly what we have done is some kind of modifications on the top of it to create outlets for our air purifier.
So in this case, it was just that quiet commitment, the confidence, that perseverance, saying that I am going to try and make something happen. And I think combined with also knowing when he needs help. I think is a huge plus.
The second prototype which we actually designed was a cubical shape, because the cylindrical shape is the one we already tried in our first prototype. So we actually wanted to explore change in shape can improve the performance of the purifier. So we tried to do an air purifier in cubical shape this time. So what we need is actually perforations on all the 360-degree directions, similar to a cylindrical model, but this time the perforations will be on a flat surfaces.
The AeroOK Technologies team has approached me with the rough sketch which was used to make a working prototype in the laboratory. Then they have shown a lot of enthuse and interest to see that this prototype should be made into a product.
We have purchased flat ABS sheets and did some perforations on it using a CNC machine. And we actually combined all these four sides of it to make a cubical shape. That's it.
And like most of the incubators, they were trying to figure out, in terms of they had a good idea, they had worked on some good technology, and so they were trying to figure out, how they should translate that, how they should commercialize that.
And I know how many battles AeroOK had to fight. I mean, it was just on so many different fronts that actually some of them, as you think back on them, you say these are actually going to be case studies that IIT actually will look back and say, this is, we learned so much from the journey that AeroOK.
We have entered IITM Research Park and got seed fund from IITM Incubation Cell and a dedicated workspace. That time it was really helpful to build more prototypes and do some testing. We have realized the design we have chosen for our third prototype is actually very complicated because previously all the design used to have perforations, so it is easy to get perforations using any CNC machine. But this design has vanes which has certain amount of inclination, which actually even for a CNC machine very difficult to fabricate. We don't have any other option other than 3D printing to build our third prototype. So we started doing some trials on 3D printing, but because of the height and the diameter of the prototype, we couldn't actually build the whole prototype in a single shot. So we happened to divide the prototype into some 17 different parts and start building each part separately and then attaching all these 17 components to make a complete purifier.
I personally monitored from time to time wherein I have seen that they have used the CNC facilities, rapid prototyping facilities and other testing facilities in order to bring out this product into a aesthetically pleasing and acceptable product. And that's where I found that the efforts of the team and the perseverance of the team has really brought out the first prototype which was demonstrated to the team in the institute.
Third prototype is the best model we have built, both in terms of performance as well as aesthetics. We started doing industrial design for this prototype and started building tools to actually commercially launch this model into the market.
We have set up plant in Chennai where our production capacity is per day 50 units, and we got some pre-orders. We are looking forward to serve more and get the feedback from customers.
I think it's looking back on the last 3-4 years, it's been a very satisfying journey for me to look at them and see.
What clearly was the case with Deekshit and subsequently with the entire AeroOK team is that you give them one little inch and they take it a mile forward, and that I think is remarkable. I mean, that's the kind of caliber of team that Deekshit has built. AeroOK, particularly, now that it's a time that this product is going to get into the market, in partnership with a very reputed group, it makes us immensely proud. It is one of those, as I said, it's going to be a case study that will be written up and people come back and talk about it, and people will study it and say, look, this is the kind of thing, this is what truly means to be an IIT entrepreneur. So I'm thrilled, I'm proud, I'm full of admiration, and my congratulations to you and my very best wishes.
Sure. I'm delighted to witness the formal launch of this AeroOK air purifier product. I've seen it evolve over the months, I would say probably even more than a year, when various prototypes were fashioned even in our institute's workshop. It's come out very well. It looks as good as any product made anywhere in the world. And its finish and sound level, everything looks fabulous. I hope it has a very good acceptance in the market, and I hope you will keep improving the product and deliver value to customers.